Hello and welcome to the Watch Kaki channel, where we bring you all the good and honest watch reviews. If you haven't done so, please click the subscribe button, come back here every week because I have new videos uploaded every week just for you. Today we are going to do a show and tell video, and I'm going to spend some time to talk to you about these two diver watches on the review desk. So these two watches, they share so many similarities. They are local brand, micro brand watches. One here is from Monsieur. This is the Diver Helm One model, and this one here is Zelos. Alright, very established micro brand here, coming right out of Singapore. This is the Swordfish 40 model. And as you can see, George is very happy today because we've got a whole lot of green watches, green dial, green bezel, green whatever. So that makes him a very happy person, and he's going to share with us his views on these watches as well. So with more advanced or more affordable manufacturing capabilities, I think we're getting really good specs from these micro brand divers. All right, when I talk about good specs, I talk about things like sapphire crystals, solid link bracelets, solid end links, really good mil clasp all around here, not the flimsy stamped clasp. We got mil clasp, really good specs on these things, AR coating on the underside of the crystal, and ceramic bezels and whatnot. And all these points that I've listed, I think it got me thinking real hard. I'm beginning to believe that now, it's the golden age of watch production in terms of manufacturing, design, and the specs and cost of production. I think now is indeed the golden age of production, and as watch fans out there, we are really benefiting from this whole lot of great watches that's coming in at really good prices. So I'll just zoom in a little bit as I talk about the host of similarities found in these two watches. And for a start, both watches are priced in the same category. Both are well under 300 Singapore dollars. The Helm One here on the left, it is going for a pre-sale price of US dollars 250. So for the Zelos, I actually paid US dollars 269 shipped to my door. Now I got this a few weeks back, and I think both watches, they represent tremendous value, just fantastic value for the price you're paying. So both are powered by the good old NH35 Seiko movement. They are very standard. Reliability is there, ease of parts, accessibility is there, and I think one shouldn't complain about NH35 at all at this price point. And for US dollars 250 bucks, you get really good specs. Both watches have sapphire crystals with AR coating on the underside, and on both watches you get solid link bracelets, solid link with solid end links. You also get really nice milk clasp and milk buckle here. Fantastic job by both companies. And here's the Zelos. I'm going to share with you on this links here. Each link is individual link and very fully articulated. Fantastic job here done by Zelos. Right, so on the Zelos Swordfish, you've also got a really nice milk clasp, milk scissor here, and you do get quick release pins here on the bracelet. So it's very convenient for watch fans out there who want to change out to rubber straps. So both watches also feature sandwich dial. So they've got the underplate that is fully lume, and then they apply another layer of dial on it. So the Swordfish 40 has got that emerald green sunburst on the dial here, whereas here it's got the gilt dial look. And I would say both watches, they follow very different design cues. The Helm One here obviously is a nod to vintage designs, this being no crown guard diver. Alright, and I would say overall a simpler case construction here, just one slim bevel here, which is really nicely done. Alright, I would say this is like a nod to vintage divers. And over here, the Zelos Swordfish 40 is more like a modern design. It's got all these angular cuts in the case construction, right up all the way to the lug area. Okay, so a very different design cues. I would say think of the Tudor Black Bay. If you're looking at the Helm One, think of a Seiko Samurai in terms of design when we're looking at the Zelos. So at this point, I'd like to make it clear both watches, they do not come across as homage at all. I did list the type of watch that you think about when you look at them, but I really don't think either of these watches, they look like a homage at all. I would definitely think that these watches, they are original designs, and again, full marks to the brands for doing original designs. So again, similarities, they just continue in the sense that both watches, they have ceramic bezel inserts. Alright, so again, for budget entry-level watches, is more or less unheard of in the past. So after going through the specs, I'm sure you agree with me, for under US $300, these are really good deals, but there's more to it. You're not just getting a good watch, you're getting a good package along the way. So let's just take a look at what these watches come with. So this is the packaging for the Helm One. On top of getting the watch, alright, you're also getting a pouch. The watch ships in the pouch, and you do get a spare tropic rubber strap. So you need to change it out for a different look or a different feel. And I spoke to the owner. There's also a slot here which I believe is for an accessory such as a strap tool or perhaps even a second strap. No confirmation on that, but as it is, I would say this is a really good package for a watch at this price point. And for Zelos, the packaging never fails to impress any watch fan. So this one here comes in a pouch, a zipper leather pouch here. Alright, and I think this is probably good for putting up to 4 watches. Alright, you can see each leather slot here has space for 1 watch, so you've got a total of 4 slots here. So really great packaging. On top of this one here, you're also getting that Akasha wooden box, which I've used it for storing my straps these days. And in terms of lume, you're also getting very serious stuff going on in these 2 watches. Just take a look at how bright the lume is. Alright, it's fantastic. You get fully lume bezels here on both watches. Alright, these brands are just really knocking out some really fantastic products. And this lume level here, the level of brightness here, I would really say is right there, right up there with Seiko level lume. Just fantastic. So in terms of craftsmanship, workmanship and build quality, I think there is some degree of difference, but both watches are generally very well made, well designed, well machined. Okay, I do find rough edges here and there. Let me just point out to you. So on the Zelos, you get the underside of the bracelet, underside of the case back here, this part here, the edge here, and also in the areas around the clasp here. So you can see that these parts here, these areas here, they are pretty sharp. Okay, so it may not be very comfortable for you when you're trying to slot or push in the watch while wearing it. So just take a look at this part here. It may sort of stretch up your wrist quite a bit. Right? Not to the point it's going to cut your wrist, but these are the areas that showing that these are budget watches. And the workmanship, craftsmanship on the Helm One is decidedly better than the Zelos. Alright, I was surprised when I handled the watch. Hardly any rough surfaces at all. Alright, so no hot spots, no rough spots. Fantastic. Really nice slim bevel here at the case side. And the bracelet here is really comfortable with hardly any rough spots. Alright, very comfortable. Just very well done here. The only complaint I have on the Monsieur Helm One here is got to do with the clasp here. So at the corners here of the clasp, some sharp areas, pointy areas here. I think I've spoken to the owner, and this being the prototype, I hope they sort out this issue before the watch goes into production. So I like to put things into perspective. For under US dollars, $300, I think you're getting, this is really the best you can get for the kind of money you're paying. Alright, in comparison, alright, you do get a Seiko. Okay, so this is a Seiko Samurai, and it costs about the same price or slightly less. So in terms of Singapore dollars, these things are about 350. So you do get a base basic Samurai model for low $300 here in Singapore. And this one here, also very well built. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Seiko is not good. Very well built, but you get Harlex crystal, and you do get this sort of a stem clasp here. Alright, and of course there are no such things as ceramic bezel inserts. So when you look at these watches here, when you compare the Seiko Samurai, the basic model here, with the Zelos or the Monsieur Helm One, you really do feel a difference in terms of specs. Sapphire crystal with AR coating, Harlex glass, really nice, you know, mil clasp, solid link bracelet, but over here you only get a stem clasp. And one could always say that, you know, going up the price point just a little bit, you do get a Swiss made diver. So this is the Glycine Combat Sub. I think the price for these watches, they are about $350 US on a good day. I think if you get discount coupons and all that, US dollars 350, US dollars 269, US dollars $250. So about $100 to $120 more. You do get a Swiss made diver. Of course, you do get a slightly better movement in terms of beat rate, and generally it is a Swiss made movement, so I assume the reliability is there. But you know, in terms of craftsmanship, the difference is not very clear. Alright, so on the Glycine, yes, the build quality here is really good, but you do get sharp edges. Alright, underside of the bracelet is decidedly sharp and angular. Alright, so here, even on the clasp here, which I believe this one here is a stem clasp, but you do get a solid milled scissor here. But things like the flip lock here, they still got some sharp edges here and there. Alright, so you're definitely getting the Swiss movement, alright, and the prestige, the perceived prestige of a Swiss made watch. Okay, but in terms of price, there is a difference, and the difference in quality isn't that evident. So in closing this video, I'd like to reiterate my point. I really feel that, you know, this is the golden age of micro brands. For not a lot of money, you're getting a lot of watch. Alright, I know it sounds very cliche, but you are really getting, you know, great value for these micro brand watches these days. You know, you get really good specs, decent build quality. Alright, it's not the best, I have to admit. You know, you do get some issues. You need to sort out some issues like the rough edges, you know, and of course, even for design. Alright, so many people may not like the design of Zelos watches. Their hands are a bit too thick. The markers, they don't feel right. They look like a mishmash. They look like a mix of everything, no identity. And also on the Helm One here, you know, you always get feedback like, what's with the ship's wheel here? I don't really like this motif, this design. I don't find the display back useful at all. There's nothing to see on a base NH35. Okay, so I get it. All right, these watches, they are not perfect. Okay, but I assure you, all right, you know, for the money you're paying, okay, you're really getting great value, and it is always nice to try out these micro brands every once in a while. So if you're a fan of micro brands and you want to share your comments and thoughts with me, please, you know, feel free to comment in the comment section below. I'll see you soon. This is George. You know, he's very happy today. He's got 2 green watches. I'm gonna say goodbye for now. Bye bye. Okay, I guess George has truly gone mad. He's gone on to wearing 2 watches at the same time. George, you okay?